I saw Rashomon, like a new paradigm had sort of entered my head, that instead of you can know reality, all of a sudden you realize that you can't know reality, that there are different realities, and everyone has his or her own reality. But see, most people don't have that idea. They think there's truth, and it's as simple as that. You just tell what the truth is. You know. This is the portable postmodernist. Here's a very famous passage from Lyotard about postmodernism being incredulity toward meta-narratives, whatever the hell that means, right? Postmodernism argues that there are no all-encompassing sort of grand narratives that we accept anymore, or what he called meta-narratives about progress and science and reason and things like that. And so what we have is each person has his or her own narrative, and when you have that going on, you can have a lot of chaos because nobody knows what they're supposed to do. Wherever you find postmodernism, you generally find consumer cultures. And in fact, one theorist has argued that what we call postmodernism is really just an advanced form of capitalism. You see. I think I discovered something. This is my first challah. I make bread 3 times a week, but I found this on the internet, so I thought I'd give it a try. Seems to be good. Let's see if it comes out. Oh. There it is. A beauty. My family had bakers in it. When I was growing up in Boston, in Roxbury, down the street there was a bakery, and it had cousins of mine. I used to go in and sing songs to them and give me cookies when I was a little kid. You know. My brother Jason Berger is an artist and has been painting since the age of 12, and he's now 85 years old. So he's been painting a long time. He's a modern master. They call him the master. The master. This is my last mystery, mistaken identity, and it's a cultural studies approach towards identity. And it takes place in a cruise ship, too. So this is a little different from my usual ones. That there's the cruise ship. I used to give lectures on cruise ships for a while. I was in England in 1973, and somebody sent me this book, So Sure. As soon as I read it, the mists cleared from my mind. Because what I learned from So Sure is why I had always wondered, when we think of black, we automatically think of white. Everything is a sign. Peirce said the universe is perfused with signs, if not made up entirely of them. See, well, if everything is a sign then, and you're a decoder man, you have to spend a hell of a lot of time decoding everything that's going on in the world. So then, where do you find signs? Everywhere you look. A hair color is a sign. Hairstyle is a sign. Eyeglasses are a sign. Eye color are a sign. Facial expressions are a sign. So Sure pointed out is there's not an automatic relationship between the sign and the object. You see, it's arbitrary. I have a number of books of Freud, not only here, like this one was very influential, Jokes and the Relationship to the Unconscious. You see, from Freud, I got the notion that there is a kind of structure to jokes, and that there are techniques that are used in jokes. I've done some actually original work on humor. I developed a list of 45 techniques that I claim generate humor in all works of humor, wherever you are, and so forth. And I've explained that in a number of books, one of which is called An Anatomy of Humor. I was in a car once, and my mind started playing around with all the different kind of cons there are. And so then when I came home, I started, fooling around with different kinds of cons. And then sometimes I indicate that he's a convict by having a nice ball and chain attached to his foot. I got into a lot of trouble because people think that my stuff is far out when I analyze Pac-Man and suggest that's a kind of masturbation. So one of my students actually said this to me. He said, "Would you please raise your left hand when you're saying stuff we're supposed to take notes on, because I don't know whether you're putting us on all the time or what." You know. This is my Marxist hat. I got this when I was in China a number of years ago, just as a joke. But when I feel like I have to write as a Marxist, I put this hat on, and it helps me sort of theorize, whatever the word is, in a Marxist perspective, you see. So my problem is I've multiple identities. Monday and Tuesday I'm a semi-tician. Wednesday and Thursday I'm a Marxist. Friday and Saturday I'm a psychoanalytic critic, and Sunday I'm a sociologist. you know. See, when I decided to teach media criticism, there's two ways to do it. You get a big, thick book full of articles, and you read this article and you talk to the students about what's in this article. So what do? They learn what's in the article, they remember it, they write down on the test, forget it. The other approach is to make them instruments of analysis. So it's like teaching people, if people are starving, you can either give them food or teach them how to fish. I'm teaching them how to fish, you see. When I was at San Francisco State, I was infamous amongst the students for showing them The Prisoner, which is a cult television series, kind of metaphor for a modern man. We're all sort of trapped. It's perfectly suited for Marxist analysis. The general is actually a computer, and the general has a program called the Speed Learn, which goes automatically into your brain and tells you facts about history. The general is used by the education committee, and that's a group of people in top hats and tails that meet. And so you have all kinds of things relative to class conflict, to the Marxist notion about how the ruling classes manipulate the consciousness of the proletariat and so forth. And of course they say at the beginning they're only teaching them history, but he said later on they're going to teach them the things that they want them to know, so they'll be more docile, members of the society and so forth. In many respects, we're all prisoners. I mean, and I think that's why the series resonated with people so much. Let's see if I have any exciting email. And some people sometimes send me a message on Facebook saying that, oh, I've used your book and I liked it and the students liked it or something like that. So it has this Facebook has this value. As long as you don't let it, control your life. I don't have very many followers on Twitter, so some people have hundreds of thousands. I have 18. So that shows you. But then, of course, I'm not a leader of men. When I was in the Army, I was a specialist third class. That's for people who are not leaders of men. Had I been a corporal, I would have been a leader of men. That's the equivalent rank. That's what my life is reduced down to. Very simple. I've been in the same house since 1970 for 39 years. I've been married to the same woman for 48 years. I taught at the same university for 38 years. So I have a very simple life, uninteresting relative to lots of people that I've met who are doing all kinds of exciting things. I just sort of type away, send email messages, go to the gym, and cook. It's been like 30 years since I touched a piano. Hmm.